Hey YouTube, Mr. Halo Freak here again, and we're going to be continuing on with our Let's Play of World of Warcraft. So, last we left off and I was doing a quest to use the inoculating crystal on these Nestlewood Alkins. And yeah, that was about it. So, let's get on with it, shall we? We shall obviously oops, just about missed that one. We don't want that now, do we? Oh, he seems agitated by the inoculation. Oh, I wonder if any of them will turn hostile or something. Oh, that's something to find out. One seems disoriented. And there's that final one over there. So, I trust you're all having a good day. If not, leave a comment down below as to why, and I hope that even though this video isn't of the highest quality, that it's somehow helps make your day a little bit better. So I've been thinking of some things to speak about, and I figured, you know what, why not share my first experiences with WoW. So I joined this game pretty early on. Well, I say that, but it was really just around the time that the Burning Crusade was starting to come out, and mainly after seeing my dad play it, I took quite a liking to it and became hooked on it, even going as far as to stay up on it overnight when I was not supposed to, and I'd even choose it over going out with friends, which I still do some days, as who needs friends? No. But yeah, so I started out playing WoW pretty early, and I've always been interested in the idea of role playing. So I went on the first server I saw that had RP in it, Argent Dawn. I'm obviously playing on the European servers for those who don't know, but I hope. So I started out pretty noobish. Well, I still am pretty noobish. I don't really use keybinds or stuff. I don't even mind how my hotbar is. I just leave it as it is. I figure, why not? Just keep the basics that I actually need on there. And occasionally I just branch off. I haven't really got any rare mounts. Rarest thing I've probably got is, well, I'd hardly call it rare, as I've got the Flying Cloud, the Sky Golem, and the Chopper. That's about the only thing they've actually bothered with. But obviously I'm not all too much. I'm not a professional player, so I don't really mind. I started out rolling a human paladin by the name of Leptor, who I still play to this day, and is my main on this server. I went Retribution mainly due to the fact that, well, I'm not really fit out to be a tank or that, and I prefer the DPS roles, especially when I'm part of a big raid. You'll notice I am using some add-ons, but they're just basic ones that, in all honesty, I just do simple things such as organise my bag and sell bits of junk. So nothing too game changing there. So as I was saying, well, I rode a human paladin, and oh, that looks sort of like a Pokeball. Just pointing that out. Saying that I haven't played Pokemon in years. And well, let's just get that up. So yeah, I rode a Retribution Paladin, and I've really been quite hooked ever since. I have, oh, who knows, something like over 300 days playtime on one character alone, and that's not even my main, so you can tell I'm pretty addicted. And sure, some would say this is unhealthy, and even I'd say it's an unhealthy habit, but I enjoy it more than sports, which I've never really gotten into. And it may just be because of the people I hang around, or just the fact that I've never been really good at it. But it's just never really appealed to me as much as it has to other people. Although I do occasionally watch sports. I watched a football match from the World Cup. It was Germany against someone else. I can't remember really, because I'm obviously not the biggest fan. And yeah, so I mean, that was an interesting experience, seeing as I had no clue what was actually going on. I was just rooting for Germany because, well, they're probably gonna win. Although I wouldn't make any bets, as not only do I have no money, but this world is so unpredictable and anything could happen. Which gets me onto my next topic of, well, just the news really. So over here in the UK, I'm sure you've probably heard of it. There was a man. He was found to have raped a 91-year-old, and this person was 18. And to be honest, it is just to think that someone would do that is just very, very disturbing, as obviously they are in no position to fight back at all. But yeah, so that happened, and oh, it looks like my family's just getting back, and I just hope you can put up with them. So if you hear any background noise, such as you heard at the ending of the last video, that will obviously be then. So yeah, World of Warcraft is not a very healthy habit, but it's obviously not that much of a healthy habit, but I still do it anyway. And you can hear my family as I'm trying to record, but oh well. As my little brother broke his Grand Theft Auto 5 game and had to go out and buy himself a new one.
I didn't break it. What?
Yeah.
It broke? Apparently I bought my own juice.
He did.
How?
So they're totally oblivious to me trying to record right now, but I don't give a damn.
You're recording?
Because I'm famous.
You're recording?
I'm gonna be famous. No, I'm not streaming. And that's my sister. Let's hope you're not gonna hear a lot of them. Oh, and someone left chewing gum on my desk, so I don't mind if I do. So obviously, Warlords of Draenor is coming up soon, and some of the new character models to that look really good. And obviously you can hear my sister commenting on that, but we'll just ignore her. Should I pay me?
I already had it.
What?
Recording YouTube or Twitch?
YouTube.
You don't even know.
I don't even know anymore. So well, I've been oh, I just lost topic. Where were we? Wards Draenor. Some of the models, especially with the new human male, which if you want to see, just comment and I can link it to you in the description. But some of the models, oh, they are just great. A major improvement. Just the Draenei model in general is really good. I mean, more pixels plus. But obviously, I'm really looking forward to going back to Draenor. Well, Outlands, which was Draenor after it got destroyed, and so yeah, Draenor is rich with war such as Orcus War and all that kind of stuff, but it will be fun to go and see that. And well, now that we've finished our quests, we'll go and hand them into Botanist Tier X. I think that's it. I always have problems with Draenei names. And give her these washeries and hand in these corrupted flowers. And oh, we'll go and disperse the neutralizer in agent, whatever that is. Obviously, if you want to actually keep track on the story throughout the starting zone, you can pause the video and check it. And yeah, so we're going to go over to Silverwine Lake and then go to Arn at the Shadow Ridge about this missing scout. And obviously there's these Draenei survivors lying about, but we don't need to do anything. They have no real major impact. And yeah, so Wards of Draenor looks absolutely brilliant from what I've seen of the alpha and the beta. I think it's going into beta. I know it was in the Friends and Family alpha, but yeah, it's gonna be really fun. I love to find out what's going on with Garrosh now, and I mean, after the Siege of Orgrimmar, which was an absolutely bloody great raid. Yeah. So going back to my conversation earlier of my experiences with WoW when I first started playing it. So obviously I had no clue what I was doing. I didn't even know how you traded with people, and I became really. It was really good because I just loved the concept of your character progressing and all that good stuff. So, and for some reason you still get that sense of satisfaction when you're collecting gear for something that you know that it's not gonna affect anything in real life, but it's a fun concept, and I'm surprised that no other game didn't pick up on it before Blizzard. And speaking of Blizzard, there are some amazing Blizzard games such as StarCraft and Diablo, even though I've not really went into Diablo that much. But I absolutely love Blizzard. They're a great company, and no, I'm not gonna get paid to say this because I'm not that popular, and will probably not be the popular, but yeah. So obviously I have no clue why the Blood Elves are actually here. So yeah. Let alone why they chose to even go with the Horde in general. I mean, I'm sure it was probably something just to do with gameplay mechanics. And speaking of gameplay, a fun fact for you. Gnomegan, the home of the gnomes, was originally meant to be in a lion city, but obviously it would cause an imbalance, and Blizzard didn't want that. So they decided that it'd become a dungeon instead. So that happened, and yeah, it's a shame because I would have loved to have explored Gnomegan. And speaking of things that didn't make it into the game, the Emerald Dream, even if it's yet to come, I hope it's to come, as it would be a great expansion. I know Chris Metzen, I think it was, said something about it being just a bit too plain, and the whole expansion based around plant life wouldn't really fit. But saying that, Northrend did well, and that was based solely around ice. So yeah, let's just hope that eventually comes. But all we can do is hope. So yeah, back to my experiences. Once I'd reached around level 20 and discovered that there was these things called mounts, which obviously they weren't anything. They're not anything fancy now, but they looked so amazing at the time. And the fact that you could actually ride a horse or something just really, really opened it up to me. And especially after getting through like the first zone and then realising that, say, this area of the map, Ammonvale, realising that there's a whole other area and other continents and even a different planet once the Burning Crusade came out. And speaking of the Burning Crusade, that was one of the many expansions, and just the fact that just expansions in themselves got me really interested, as the game was actually changing, and you wouldn't have to really wait for another sequel. It was all intertwined, so you could just go back and do old content rather than having to load up an old DVD, start off your characters from scratch. And looks like some Blood Elf planners just dropped, and we'll accept that quest. And yeah, and my Draenei is starting to look a bit like a cross-dresser, but anyhow, if you think we're just picking up random pieces of armor we find along the way, and we'll go and turn in these quests. So I'm gonna be experimenting a lot with different lengths of these videos. Obviously the first one was only around 10 minutes, but just to see and I'd quite like for you all to comment down below with how long you'd like these videos to be, and if there's anything you'd like me to look into, such as games like Skyrim. I know I have Skyrim, and I'd be quite willing to record a bit of that, even if I am not the best at it. I do have, for those more interested in FPSs, I have Battlefield 3, and yeah. So that could be something interesting. And yeah. So one of the things I really love about World of Warcraft is the lore behind it all. It seems that there's a massive world of lore. You can even go on to like the WoW wiki, and you can. It's almost like Facebook and YouTube in a way. You can end up looking at one thing, and then you end up at an entirely different thing. Oh, and there's also this site called the Argent Archives for people who do roleplay. It's a fan created site, and well, I'm pretty sure their whole slogan is that it is like YouTube. So yeah. So in WoW, there's obviously all kinds of things you can do, such as leveling, which is what I'm doing, and just following along the main stories and such. You can do raiding, where there's like two different types. There's LFR, which is where you group up with a bunch of randoms, also known as a pug, which is put-up group, and then there's professional raiding, and that where you go out and you find people with the good gear. You put together 40 man raids, and it requires quite a lot of cooperations to defeat rather big bosses, and well, I don't do most of that. And there's role playing where you can take on the role of your character, which I dabble in. Well, I say dabble, I do it, as it's fun for me. And it seems we've done the quests in this area, and once we reach Azure Watch, I shall end this video. And so obviously leave a like and subscribe if you want to, but I'm not saying you have to. Hell, dislike it if you want to. I'm not all that bothered. Just a bit of support would be nice, but obviously I'm not going to be getting the YouTube monies because, well, just because I'm not big enough, and to be honest, that's the whole idea of me doing Let's Plays and doing YouTube is just for me to have a bit of fun, really. As you can see up in the corner, I have a buff called Valor of the Ancients because I've essentially earned the Valor cap, which I'm trying to do for a quest on my main, so I'm just doing some videos to keep myself interested in WoW, and leading up to the new expansion, which I definitely will be covering. So you can look forward to seeing that. And speaking of Lords of Draenor, another RPG type game that I'm looking forward to is definitely Dragon Age or Inquisition. I nearly said Origins then. Which is the newest game in the Dragon Age saga, where I'm not sure exactly what happens. I think it's a tear in the Fade or something that causes some magics, and you are essentially an Inquisitor that can use the magics to stop them, and yeah. So that seems a little message on the battle tag there from Anaric. I think that's how it's pronounced. Yeah, so speaking of Dragon Age, there's not been a lot of details announced. I know there was some coverage at E3, I think it was, yeah. Such as gameplay, and the game looks absolutely brilliant. It's definitely something I'm looking forward to. Hell, I might even save up for it. But yeah, it's obviously gonna be a good game. I'm just hoping that it won't pull a Dragon Age 2 where it decides to well, my main issue with Dragon Age 2 is it really just kept taking you back to the same locations. And look, here we are at Azure Watch. You can see the various quests that we're going to be doing, and yeah, so I'm going to hand this quest in and then we shall stop the video. So I'm really enjoying making these videos, so if you could comment, possibly share them with your friends, or don't, even if it's just haha, look at this kid who's trying to make YouTube videos and he's really bad at it. But anyway, I'll be ending the video now, so